Mr Speaker, will I rise to speak against the opposition's motion here tonight and in support of the Attorney-General's amended motion. And Mr Speaker, this is nothing short of an act from an opposition who is desperate and floundering and without ideas. An opposition that is bereft of policy and has taken to playing the man, someone who can't come in here and defend themselves, I might add, because they are so bereft of integrity that they will not actually talk about ideas, policies and the contest of ideas, which is what this place should be about. Mr Speaker, I speak in support of the amended motion. Mr Speaker, and I can hear the interjections there from the Deputy Opposition Leader, and long may he stay the Deputy Opposition Leader,
exactly,
because he is not up to the job.
You'll have your chance then.
He is not up to the job. He is a man who has a glass jaw, likes to come in here and dish it out, but he can't take it, Mr Speaker. He can't take it, he can't ask a question, and he should sit there and listen occasionally, and maybe he might learn something, Mr Speaker. I speak to the amended motion, Mr Speaker, which talks of Labor's history of gerrymandering here in Queensland. And it talks about it being introduced by the Hanlon government in 1949. And indeed it was in 1949 that the Hanlon Labor government sought to introduce a gerrymander. But Labor's history when it comes to gerrymandering in Queensland actually goes back a lot further, Mr Speaker. In fact, I quote from a story in the Sydney Morning Herald from the 18th of May 1923. I don't know if anyone in this place was alive then, some may have been. Labor, maybe the member for Toohey, Labor is in a strong position in the new single-chamber Parliament of Queensland because of the gerrymandering of the state on the occasion of the last electoral redistribution, end quote. It goes on to say that based on the numbers of votes for each party, Labor should have won 37 seats, with anti-Labor parties winning 35. Instead, under Labor's gerrymander in 1923, a fair while ago, they got 44 seats compared to 28. Now, Labor have a strong track record when it comes to rigging the electoral system. They have a strong track record of rigging the electoral system. Who can forget when they came into this House and amended the Electoral Act with 18 minutes' notice? Amended the Electoral Act to benefit themselves so they could cosy up with the Greens. No consideration by committee, no consultation with the community, just slid it in the dead of night, to suit their own political agenda, to solidify their own political power. That's Labor's record, Mr Speaker. And for Labor to come in here and hypocritically attack a man who has served both Liberal, LNP and Labor governments, they conveniently missed, the member for Waterford conveniently missed when she was reading out Mr Sosso's biography, the 7 years he served for Wayne Goss. 7 years as a senior member of the Goss government. An honest public servant who served Labor. They conveniently forget that, Mr Speaker. They conveniently miss that off the list, and that tells you everything about Labor's motivation here tonight. Labor are seeking to smear a man who has served Queenslanders for many, many years. Many, many years. A man who is well qualified, a man who helped draft amendments to the Electoral Act in his service to governments of both sides, and a man who is well fit to this role which we seek to appoint him. Mr Speaker, those opposite, I've got a question for those opposite, Mr Speaker. Who would they have us appoint? Maybe Dave Hanna? Michael Radbar? Jade Ingham? Mike Kaiser. Who can forget Mike Kaiser? Yeah, that impartial arbiter, Mike Kaiser. I didn't hear him squealing too much when he was appointed to run the government under those opposite. Handpicked by the now opposition leader at a admitted vote rorter, tasked with administering the opposition of the state at that time. A man whose political ties run deep and are unquestionable. And they didn't apply this standard back then. This is nothing more, Mr Speaker, than cheap political point scoring by an opposition who aren't up to it. An opposition leader who isn't up to it, and long may the people of Queensland see it, that this mob aren't fit to govern.